Welcome to Country Kickback, where you'll hear the latest music from performers you already know and discover new music and artists from around the world. If you have an artist you'd like us to chat with, reach out to the team at countrykickback.com, or you can watch our live videos and more by following us on social media and YouTube. Here is your host, Danny Shaw, with the latest from Country Kickback.
Hello, everybody. The intro worked that time. That is fantastic. I know it's only been half an hour since I saw most of you. How is everybody? For those that didn't tune in before, hi and welcome for the night. I hope you had a great day. So tonight we're going to have a chat to Casey Barnes. He's got a new single out and a tour that's been happening and still continuing. So if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments and we'll get to them as many as we can. We might welcome Casey into the room. Hello.
G'day, my friend. How are you? Nice to be with you.
Great. It's been ages since we spoke to you. What have you been up to?
I think the last time we saw each other in the flesh was the Smithton Rodeo, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it might have been. That was a big night.
That was a big night. It was good fun, though. It was a lot of fun.
Great.
I was going to say it was literally one of our last, really big live gigs before, the shit hit the fan basically, and COVID came and shut us down. So it was, but that was a good night.
It was so good. Now, guys, I'm just going to have to pause for a second because the comments aren't coming up. So let me just see what we can do to get them up. I think we've got too many comments coming in.
Look out.
It's fantastic. So
I've got to say really quickly off the bat that I don't know if I'm jinxed at the moment, but I've had a bad track record of closing down live streams accidentally, because last night we're in the middle of Kicks Country on Monday night, and I was in the middle of my performance and then shut down. Gone.
It decided it didn't want you to play anymore, and the comments on the screen have just decided they don't want to work now. So it is something to do with your luck, but I can see it on my mobile phone. Jan is in the room. She says hi, Danny, and hi to you.
Hello, Jan.
Taz is in the room. Jonathan's in the room. Karen's in the room. So everybody's here. Please keep the comments coming, and I will get back to you at the end of the show. You are on your way back to Tassie again, so that's pretty exciting for those of us down here. That's not far away.
It isn't far away. We've been busting to get back down for well over 12 months now, and we've gone to book something in, and then obviously restrictions have been extended and borders have closed and haven't been able to get across the line. But credit to the lovely folks at the Mathina Country Club, Adrian and all the crew. They've been fantastic, and we were able to lock this show in on the 27th of March, which is only a couple of weeks away now, and tickets are flying out the door. It's amazing. I think we're going to possibly double the capacity of last time, and I know there's a lot going on in Tasmania that weekend, so which is even better. Like, I'm stoked that we're getting that many people down there, so it's going to be a good night.
It's going to be a great night, and I don't know who's going. I can't get there, so I'm hoping that I can get you guys to do some filming for me, because I'm going to be so gutted all night long not being able to be there.
So I think our friend Noma will be all over it.
She will.
And we've even got, actually, I've got to say a shout out. I know Jan's tuning in now, and she's been amazing over the years, helping out on many an occasion with merch and little odds and ends that that needed to be done. And more recently, there's a couple of ladies, Amanda Speece and Casey Hughes, who have a lot to do with the CMC Rocks fan page, and they've been helping me out with merch and all that sort of stuff. It shows they're going to fly all the way down to Tassie just to run the merch. They're coming all the way to Tassie just to help us on merch. So that's probably one of the reasons why I love country music so much, is the community and the people and everyone that involved. There's just so many great people, and that's just one example, and
It's such a great community, and we all jump in and we all help. And I actually I think it's great because you don't always get to do that in this industry, and people get to feel that other side of it, and it's a great feeling. And that brings me to Come Turn Me On. How fantastic is your new single?
Oh, I've been busting. I'm not a very patient person, and I've been sitting on this song now for, a good couple of months. I was lucky enough to team up with the same guys that I did a lot of writing with on my current album. Co-wrote Sparks Fly and another track called We're Good Together, with these two incredible songwriters over in Nashville, and become really great friends with them. And we thought we were on a good thing, so we started doing a bunch of writing over Zoom and stuff over, when we were in lockdown throughout the whole COVID period. And this is one of the first songs we wrote. And as soon as we wrote it, I knew it was going to be a ripper when we finally got to recording it. And I teamed up with the same guys I've been doing a lot of recording with down in Melbourne, the boys from M Squared, and they nailed the track and it finally came out on Friday.
It did, and I have seen. I know that you've obviously received a lot of comments on it, but I've seen a lot of comments. It's had some really good feedback so far.
I think the one that was the biggest shock was because they can be brutal sometimes, but we got a premiere with Rolling Stone with the music video and the single, and they're pretty honest. If they don't like something, they could rip it to shreds, and they were actually really nice about the song and the music video. So that was really cool, to get a nice review from them, and excited to have it out. And I was lucky enough to team up with my wife. Actually, had a lot to do with the music video. She's this incredibly talented, creative mind, and she had this idea for the music video and where we should shoot it. And we found this really cool location up in Brisbane called the Smoke Garage, and we shot the clip up there, and it came up really great. So it was nice to work with her.
Was the film clip filmed quite recently, or has that also been, you've been sitting on that for a while as well?
Oh no, we shot the clip pretty recently. We obviously had to wait until it was safe to do so. And a lot of times in the last few months, you probably wouldn't have been allowed to have that many people together in one space and all that sort of stuff. But no, by the time we got around to shooting it, it was all back to normal up here in Queensland, and so we were like, we could go fully fledged with the whole thing, and the guys did a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great, and we have actually popped the link to the film clip in the comments. So when we're finished tonight, you can actually click on that and watch if you haven't seen it already. Tell us a little bit. I know you've had lots of different merchandise coming out. What sort of merch have you got going for the latest single and things that are happening?
Well, we yet to. Well, I'll leave it to anyone that's tuning in tonight. They might be able to come up with some creative genius with some "Come Turn Me On" merch. It could go terribly pear-shaped. I've already had some interesting radio interviews having a song title like that. It can get you into a little bit of strife, but we do have, and this is so convenient that I'm just sitting here next to me. Because we've just come back from Adelaide. I didn't prepare this earlier, I promise. But we just came back from Adelaide, and we've got a bunch of new stuff. These new trucker caps are very popular. We're going to bring them down to Tassie, and we're bringing out a girls one, a female one, a nice pink design. So they're coming. I just have a sneaking suspicion, and in Mathina we might sell a few of these as well. So. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we might want to bring some of those.
I think you better.
I've got a feeling. And we've got the female, hang on, these T-shirts, the girls seem to like these ones. This is my other single that I had out. I don't know if that's back.
And we're good together. Yes, that is no, it's perfect. It's the right way around.
So they've been popular as well. Yeah. So we'll bring those down.
Absolutely. What a great thing. Now, you've just come back from Adelaide. Where else are you heading?
All over the place. Thankfully, it's a busy few months coming up. We're doing our first show in a long time in Melbourne, just before we come to Tassie. So that's literally only a couple of weeks away, playing there with Darlinghurst, who are one of my favourite new Australian bands. Huge fan of those guys, and they're obviously Victorian based. So we're doing a show with them in Melbourne. And so if anyone's tuning in from Victoria, there's a lot of people have sort of said over the last 18 months, when are we going to be doing a show in Victoria? So Melbourne. Yeah, Melbourne on the 25th of March, and then we're coming back down for the Gippsland Country Music Festival, which is now sold out in April. So we've got that, and then Way Out Westfest in Winton, which is going to be a big one with it's a huge lineup: Daryl Braithwaite and Shepherd, and I know the Wolf Brothers and Becky Cole, and we've got that happening in April. And then we just keep on going from there. You know, Gympie Muster and Savannah and the Round, and we're playing in Toowoomba in April as well. So going to try and stay pretty busy.
You're catching up from missing out on last year. All these places.
Yeah, I think we were lucky enough to do a regional Queensland tour at the end of last year because, I guess unlike some of the southern states, Queensland opened up a little quicker. And so we were lucky to go out on the road and do some regional shows. But really want to get down to some of those southern states, like we've got to Adelaide now and Victoria, and definitely want to get to New South Wales because, that's been a tough state to get into. But the plan is to do as many gigs as we can.
How exciting. And I know that you've got other music. Are you going to be releasing any more singles?
Oh, yeah. I guess, this song that we've got out at the moment is, I guess, the lead single, the first single off what will be eventually the next album. So been in the studio recording a heck of a lot at the start of the year, and literally 80% through recording the next album already. So it's hard because I'm now sitting on, nearly a complete new album of tracks, which I have to sit on and wait and be patient, and I'm not very good at that. So it's going to be nice to have some new music out.
Have you tried throwing the occasional new track into the set? Have you surprised people with that sort of thing? Yes. How's that going?
We started playing "Come Turn Me On" when we did a Gold Coast show and a Brisbane show recently, and we chucked that in the set. And there's another new one that it's been going down really, really well, which is brand new, and it's a track called "Gone, Gone, Gone." So I actually haven't mentioned that anywhere. So this is the first time I've mentioned that, but we've been playing that one, and that's an absolute ripper of a track. It's a real sort of country rocker, and so we're throwing that in just to test it out and see how it goes. And we'll be playing that down in Tassie too in a couple of weeks.
Fantastic. That is very exciting. I can't wait to hear what people are going to say about that, and I won't be there, so it's just rubbing it in.
That's okay.
You'll be back. You better be back very soon. Hopefully, New Year's Eve was a good one. We should do that again, I reckon. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean, any excuse to get to Tassie, being the home state, always have to get down.
About to mention that you were from down here. How long have you been living on the mainland for?
Oh, well, I guess it's been a bit of a half and half. So I've spent half my life growing up in Tassie, and then second half living up here on the Gold Coast. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag. And I guess, any chance that I've had to get back down to Tassie, I always try and come down, whether it's to come and visit family and mates that I, went to school with and played a lot of footy with down there, or come down and play shows. So always have a soft spot for Tassie and still feel like it's definitely feels like home when you do get down there as well.
Absolutely. I think it's one of those places. It certainly changes, but it is. It's like coming home every time you walk back into the state. It's a whole different place to the rest of the country.
Yes, it's I'm thinking already about the things like I love about places like Mathina when you come and play there are just all of the, I don't know, it feels in a good way. It feels like you've jumped into a time capsule and you just get that old fashioned friendliness from people, and all the locals come down for the gig, and I'm looking forward to the roast pork rolls that they do there at Mathina, and they're famous for, and a lot of the fans that came along to the last show we did down there brought like home cooked treats and cookies and chocolate, and so I might have to go on a pre-gig diet before I come down so I can get into it.
I remember the last gig you did in Mathina, you did a game with me. We played Bean Boozled, and somehow you ended up playing with we had a heap of guys there that were there to watch the show, and you ended up having to shout the rounds. It was great.
I did too. I don't know how the heck that happened, but I got scammed by these guys.
Yep.
But I do remember a lot of locals trying to get me very drunk before I went on stage, which was very interesting because I can remember by the time the show started, I was feeling pretty good. I was feeling very good, and I thought the show sounded great. I'm not sure how that translated in reality, but it felt good.
Look, I think everyone was drinking with you just as much, and I know even the shots beforehand probably helped warm you up because it was a cold night.
What was it? Something in lemonade they just kept bringing. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. If you're watching, tell us what they were.
It was heavy duty. I was buzzing.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't drive home that night, that's for sure. So I don't know if you know, we have actually got a competition running for 2 tickets to give away for March 27th. So 2 tickets for 2 adults, March 27th in Mathina, and we're going to end the competition on around the 18th of March. So we will draw that, and people will still have time to jump on and get some more tickets before the night. So that's going to be really exciting. We're going to draw that next Thursday, I think. Is that the 18th? Have I got that right? I don't know what the date is today.
It sounds good. It sounds good to me.
So, again, where can people get all your tickets? Is it on your website to all your shows around the country? Where's the best place for them to look?
Yeah. There's a tour section on the website. Every single gig we're doing has a little ticket link, and it'll take you to where you need to go. It's majority are via Oztix, but I know with Mathina it's a little different. You just call the club and make contact there, and they'll get them out to you. Which the links are on the website and stuff. It's the old-fashioned way.
It really is the old-fashioned way down here. I know if anyone wants to go to the Mathina gig and they have trouble and can't find it, they can send us a message and I'll forward it on for you as well. It's a little bit hard to find. There's a couple of different Mathina clubs that come up, I noticed earlier when I was typing it. So if you can't find the right one, which we will post that in the comments as well, but sing out and I can point you in the right direction. I can't believe our time is nearly up already. I've got so many questions here on my phone, and I'm trying to scroll back because the comments aren't working. It's definitely your luck with technology. Jan wants to know. She wants "Come Turn Me On" bumper stickers.
Jan, you
that could
dirty
be great.
Stop out, Jan. That'd be typical of you. Typical of Jan. Oh dear.
Sitting in the traffic lights in Brisbane.
Come turn me on bump stickers. That's actually a great idea, Jan. I like that. There's got to be something we can do there. I like that.
Put it in the comments. We will get to them because we'd love to see your ideas. When you wrote this song and you realised, did that even enter your head? Like, this is going to really be an interesting one that I've got to do interviews for.
It did. Well, it actually, no, I didn't because I think when we wrote the song and the lyrics in the song aren't as full on as the actual title. The title is a bit misleading. It makes it sound like it's this, provocative sort of and it's not. It's actually a tribute to the one that you love, and it's sort of like the lyrics in the chorus are, I've been around the world, seen lots of girls, but you stand alone. So come turn me on. So it's sort of like whoever this person is has been around, and they've had the chance to see all sorts of different lovely people, but nothing compares to coming home to the one they love. So that's the gist of it. But yes, it could be misleading.
I can imagine, and the drunker people get, the worse that the comments are going to come on the night.
Love it.
Yeah, it's now. I was just saying a little bit before, it's a different sound for you. It is a really different sound song. Your music is certainly changing, and it was that planned, that change in the sound, or was it just something that naturally happened?
Yeah, I mean, when you hear the rest of the album, it'll still sort of tie in. and not be too removed from what you've heard of me in the past. But there are a couple of tracks on the next record that are, they're still country, but there's that more modern crossover sort of, vibe to it. And this one's probably the most pop sort of, country pop sort of vibe. But, when I was, I guess in the midst of last year, we were lucky enough to get some interest from Mushroom Records and Mushroom Publishing. And I know Michael Chugg, who's my manager and has been doing an incredible job. Sadly, through the week, I mean, this is a whole nother story, but he's been lifelong friends with Michael Gudinski and had been chatting to Michael about me for some time and sparked a bit of interest there. And he started listening to my stuff and liked what he heard. And cut a long story short, they signed me to a publishing deal with Mushroom, and it was the first live streamed signing of a deal. Like, because obviously we're in the midst of lockdown, so I couldn't fly down to Melbourne to sign the deal. So we did it all over Zoom and captured it that way. And one of the things that Michael Gudinski was really excited about was getting some of these crossover sounds happening. So, getting country radio, but I guess similar to what we've seen with, Morgan Evans and Keith and Seaforth and Dan and Shay and, that sort of vibe. So he was really excited to get that bit of a crossover thing happening. And sadly, I was only texting him, literally a week before he passed. And he was really excited about a couple of the songs that I just recorded, that I was giving him a sneak peek of, and he was really excited. And he was, talking about, he said, next time you're in Melbourne, I want to take you and your wife out for dinner, and let's, all these exciting things. And he's such a lovely man. So I was really gutted to hear the news, when it happened last week, and it was, a real shame.
A real shame. The whole industry has really felt this one, and I guess out of that, the really good thing about that I can see is he was living his life right up to the last. He really did give it his all, and that is certainly something that we can take
anyone
home.
Anyone that knew him. I mean, I haven't heard anyone say a bad word about him. Like I know a lot of people that knew him very well and spent a lot of time with him in different facets, whether it was in the music industry or through other different ways in entertainment. They've spent time with him, and everybody that I've met has said how much of an incredible guy he was. But he also liked to have a good time in the sense that he lived probably several lifetimes in one, so he made the most out of his time.
He did not waste it. And I guess it's something that, it's a good lesson for us all. Life is so short. It can be so quick, but if we live it like that, you live it without regrets, don't you? You just 100%. Make the most of it all. Well, I know that we've kept you for so long. Again, before we go, Come Turn Me On is in the links if you want to watch the video clip, but you can jump on to Spotify, YouTube, and order. I don't know, how does it work with iTunes? You can still purchase it with iTunes, can't you?
You can, and it's very interesting at the moment because this has got I think as a country music community here in Australia, this has got to shit a lot of people and have a lot of people with their noses out of joint. But I did a radio interview with a commercial radio station up here on the Gold Coast a few months ago on their breakfast show, and one of the breakfast announcers was in a way taking the piss out of country music, and he said, how hard could it be to write a country song? You've just got to throw a dog and a truck and whiskey and a broken relationship, and there's your country song. And I challenged him on radio. I said, righto, mate, if you think you can do it, put your money where your mouth is. And he's gone and recorded this song. And this is disgusting. It's sitting, I think, at number 2 on the country iTunes charts at the moment. Seriously, it's because they're obviously plugging it on radio, but that's it's sort of taken the piss a little bit. So I don't think we should be too pleased with that.
No, but oh gosh. Now, where did you go? You charted. You were climbing the charts last time I saw the charts on the day of release. Where did you get to?
Yeah, we got to number 2. It's been hard to knock Keith and Pink with their track, but one of the things, we've had some amazing support with Spotify, and it's incredible. There's an app that you can get as an artist, which gives you like a real-time update on how your track's going. And at the moment, we're only 5 days in, and we've had just over 50,000 streams on Spotify. So it's going great guns on Spotify. We're stoked.
Maybe that's something that we need to look at, is how we chart and how we read our charts, because, you know, the Spotify streams and what people are playing and the full plays, that should be what charts us, not, you know, these people getting out the charts because they've taking the mickey out of us. But
exactly. No, it's a complicated thing, you know, and I guess another thing that is plays a big role in the music network chart is radio play. So, you know, that's a huge thing. So luckily, you know, radio are jumping on it, and it's great to see them playing plenty of Australian country music as well.
Definitely. It's increased a lot in probably the last 12 months, I think, the Australian airplay, which is fantastic. It's incredible, actually. I think COVID has done Australia a favour, because it's given us time to slow down, and we've done all these live streams, and people are starting to go, oh, they are in New South Wales. It's in our hometown. So I think it's in that way. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining. I know that you've got a lot on, so thank you. We will see you down here very soon, and we will pop up in the comment. We might pop up on the page a list of your other tour dates as well, for everyone that's around the country and wanting to go. Great.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. We're looking forward to getting down to Tassie in a couple of weeks, and everywhere else that we're touring. So it's nice to be back playing some live gigs.
Yep, excellent. Well, thank you so much. And I will see everybody tomorrow night at 6:30 for our next live. We've got so many lives this week, it's going a bit crazy. So we'll see you tomorrow night at 6:30. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed today's program. See you next time with the latest with Country Kickback.